This COVID-19 undoubtedly disrupted learning, and now it could be the very same reason that pupils may not get a break for the October holidays. The Basic Education Department says it's considering scrapping this closure to make up for days lost during the disruptions. Let's get more on this story with Department spokesperson Mr. Elijah Mhlanga. Mr. Mhlanga, good morning to you. Always a pleasure talking to you. I'm sure you know that you're probably not a favorite right now from most parents and some student bodies with this potential decision that you are considering, and that is not shutting down schools actually for October, so that you can make up for lost time here. But for any parent that needs clarification, what does this mean for the department, for the school, as also for the pupils?
Good morning, Tumelo. Thank you so much for the opportunity. What happened was that when the president made an announcement at the end of June that schools were going on an early recess, we had 101 days left for schooling this year. And when schools went on an early recess on the 2nd of July, we then had to shut down business basically immediately because of the coronavirus. And schools were due to reopen on the 19th, but he then came back to say schools should reopen on the 26th of July. That now extended the school holidays by a week. So when schools reopened, we had to go back and process the implications of that decision and announcement by the president. And we realized that we were losing a week, and we sought to recover that week somewhere. And the only place we could get it was in that holiday period of the 4th to the 8th of October, which was going to help us to get back that 5 days. So we went through the process, and we thought that would be the best thing to do to try and recover some of the lost days.
Let's talk about the extent of the amount of work which lies ahead for teachers and pupils at this stage, because I think sometimes it's easy to not consider that aspect, that there's a whole curriculum that you need to obviously complete. There were days taken away from the schooling calendar. At this moment, what does that work look like?
It looks very bad. In fact, last night, we were in a meeting where presentations on curriculum coverage were made. Two of them monitoring how schools are doing in terms of teaching and learning in the different provinces. And it's not looking good at all. In fact, we have a catastrophe unfolding every day with losses that we're incurring in terms of the time that we are spending away from school because of the rotation, but also because of the start-stop in terms of schools. So it's having a negative impact, something that we believe is getting worse. In fact, every day we will not be able to recover from the disaster that is currently unfolding due to COVID-19. So as a sector, as a department, we are trying to recover as much time as we can so that we use that time for teaching and learning. Where there's some progress is in grade 12 because they attend every day. But for the rest of the grades, they are not doing well in terms of curriculum coverage, in terms of assessments, in terms of covering the key topics that are in the curriculum. But also there are other factors that also come into play, such as the provision of the school nutrition meals. That is not able to happen effectively because learners are not consistently in school every day. So there is a lot that is going wrong because schooling is not back on track as it should.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned earlier on that you're not probably a favorite with certain unions, and we know school unions have already opposed this particular planned change. Some even calling it that it's an absolute fixation to insist on the normal 200 school days per annum, despite the fact that the world is experiencing an extraordinary period of time. What do you say to some of the unions that are opposing this decision, also citing that it might not even be safe for teachers and pupils at this time, given the outbreaks and the cluster infections that we're seeing at schools?
Well, they have opposed it, and the SGB associations have also opposed it. So the sector discussed it last night, and the matter is now going back to the Council of Education Ministers whenever the minister will convene that meeting. But what we can say is that we understand the reasons that are being advanced, but at the same time, let's remember that the school holiday was given a week extra. So we are not being unreasonable by saying, let's get that week back, which means we basically balance what had taken place as per the calendar that was approved for use this year. Remember, schools also started late this year. and there have been disruptions. We need to try and recover some of that and bring some normalcy. It cannot be that we want to stay at home more than we want to be in school when we know that the time that we are losing every day, we are not able to recover it. We initially had a 3-year recovery plan. Now we realize that even that 3 years is not going to be enough. It could be 10 years. And in that 10 years, the learners are losing a lot of what they should be benefiting from, which they might never get back. So we need to think into the future and say, what is it that we need to do now to save this disaster that is currently unfolding due to the time that is being spent away from school. So that's why, as a department, we insist that we need to try, work together, and do as much as we can in school so that we try get back the academic program on track.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Basic Education spokesperson Elijah Mhlanga.